Good evening. Live from New York, the CC Radio Network is proud to bring you tonight's show, The Rebellious Rev and the Doc, where we talk about religion like you've never heard before. There's no evangelists here, just talk about religion with a twist. So let's get started and have some fun. Welcome our hosts for tonight, The Rebellious Rev and the Doc.
There is no heaven, there is no hell, there is only this world and its dark reflection. And we do not know in which of the two worlds we are.
Hallelujah, brothers, and good evening.
We actually started on time, and it was a perfect start, I must say.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Rebellious Rev, and my co-host is...
The Doc, that's me.
The Doc, and together, we're a bunch of something or other.
Well, we're know-nothings is what we are. But we're here to discuss religion and politics. Not religion in politics, but religion and politics.
We talk religion and politics also. What do you... There's a lot of sinning in politics. It's called lying.
Well, I mean, and that's very true, you know. Politics makes strange bedfellows, amongst other things, and any other cliche you want to throw in. But I notice you're wearing your flip-flops, you know, perfect for this week.
That's my flip-flop.
Flip-flopper. For those of you who read my blurb, fair is foul and foul is fair. I didn't want you to guess where that came from, so I just had to tell you it was from Macbeth and the Three Witches. But everything is just so confusing now. You know, the Donald, once again, he's flip-flopping now on the wall. And no, the deportation. The deportation. Oh, no, he's going to build a great wall. We know that.
Now the wall is up to 35 feet.
And every time I hear him talk about that great wall, I don't think of Joshua and the Battle of Jericho, but I think of Jose blowing some Mexican horn, and the wall's going to topple down anyway. So, I mean, you know, say what you will.
35-foot world, and he only has to do 1,000 feet.
You mean not going to be miles and miles? I can see for miles, like that song?
No, it's only has to be 1,000 miles, not 2,000 miles. There's two natural borders for part of that. And I seem to have sort of lost my transmission. You cannot hear me, let me know.
Oh, they can't hear us anymore?
Well, they can hear you. I'm not sure about me right now.
Oh, well, you know, hey, listen, I understand that Trump is planning to put alligators in the Rio Grande, you know, and cross at your own risk, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But really, before we even get started, I must say that I was talking to our intern, who hasn't been on for a while. She is really having a bad go of it with Crohn's disease, and she's not doing very well, and I told her we would give her a shout out and say a prayer or two, you know, in hopes that the pain eases up and she starts to show some progress. She doesn't think that the shots are working, that she may be getting this pain from the shots. Now, I know people say that sometimes it's got to hurt a little bit before it gets better, but, you know...
I don't know too much about Crohn's disease,
neither do I.
Except I know I'm glad I don't have it.
And then I have another friend who's wearing a heart monitor. And problem is at night, and I can understand this, the wires keep coming off. You know, let's face it, you know, you don't sleep in one position at night, you move around. And I explained to her that I have a CPAP machine for my sleep apnea, and one of the reasons I don't use it is because I either used to rip it off in the middle of the night, or I just couldn't get a comfortable position, even though I have to say I have one of the most comfortable face pieces. It's just the thing that goes into my nose. But the idea of wearing something on my head, and every time I move, those little things move too, and I got to put them back in and everything. Plus, I wake up and my mouth is dry, okay, and I have a headache. So, and I don't see, in all honesty, I didn't see where I was getting such a great sleep to begin with. So,
well, why don't you get a dehumidifier with your machine?
Well, no, this one does have, you put a little water in, and it not only blows air and oxygen, but, it's, you got that fine mist.
A little bit of humidity in there.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's an all-in-one. But
you have to use it.
Well, yeah, I do have to use it. It's a matter of, do I use it? And the answer is no.
So you have to use it to feel the water, is what I'm saying.
Well, yeah. But in any event, look, I've come to the realization that I'm almost like my father. My father used to say he used to get his best sleeps between 5 o'clock in the morning and 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, if I toss and turn, I either go into the kitchen and do a crossword puzzle, and then I go back to sleep, or I try to go back to sleep. Or if I'm able to, I don't get up, and I manage to fall asleep around 5 or so, and then I wake up at 11. Unless I have a doctor's appointment or something to do. There's no, I'm being retired, thank goodness. I don't have to worry about getting up to go to work.
Well,
and I used to be able to fall asleep. I'd go in at 1 o'clock. By 1:30 I was asleep, and by 5:30 I was up, ready to face the day.
Well, first thing is, Mark, have you asked your doctor if your coffee drinking has any effect on just not sleeping?
Even when I don't drink coffee, it doesn't make much difference. In all truth.
How many cups of coffee would you say you drink?
I don't count.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if there's anybody out there that has any knowledge about this, and what would 16 cups of coffee a day do to your body not sleeping, let us know.
In fact, when I used to work and I used to come in the morning, I'd have my cup of coffee. My principal once said to me, how would we know Mr. Kinnickson if he didn't have a cup of coffee in his hand? And I said, well, that's okay, because when I die, you could bury me with a cup.
It's going to get cold.
What?
It's going to get cold.
I didn't say there'd be coffee in it, just a coffee cup.
Oh.
But, But
it's cool down there, perfect 55 degrees year-round.
Where?
On the ground, when they bury you.
I'll have to ask some of the mice and rats and bugs. But anyway, folks, guess what we forgot to do, Rev?
Well, we forgot to give them the phone number.
Of course. But, of course, all you loyal listeners know. But why don't you go give it to them, Rev?
646.
595.
3275.
All right. You know how long it took them to memorize that?
I'm still memorizing
I used to use flashcards. In any event, folks, we are here to talk about politics, and there is a lot to talk about. I also said in my blurb that for those of you who think I keep picking on the Donald, I got a few things to say about Hillary, because every time you turn around, there's more talk about emails and her staff when she was in the State Department, and as Donald likes to say, pay for play, and taking money from certain regimes like Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia has this terrible record against women, which we all know.
They have Sharia law.
Not to mention the fact that, if you remember, most of the hijackers from 9/11 all had Saudi Arabian passports.
And just remember, in Saudi Arabia, if you're gay or lesbian, you are not anymore, because you will be dead.
That's true. That's very true. But
if you get raped by a man, you need 4 male witnesses before they'll consider the case.
Which is, I think, an abomination. It really is.
You need permission if they want to let you drive or not. You need permission to go to school.
And also with Hillary, we talk about the Clinton Foundation. Now, the president and Mrs. Clinton have said that if she's elected, they are going to recuse themselves from anything to do with the Clinton Global Initiative.
And not take
that's all well and good, except for one thing. Chelsea is going to be running it. Now, the bottom line is, if you are going to recuse yourself, I think you should recuse the whole family and have somebody else be in charge.
I'm sure they're going to pressure her out if she wins.
Well,
there's too much bad vibes from when she was Secretary
Hey, listen, like
of
I
State.
said, even though I'm sure she has a nanny, she has 2 young children, okay? I'm sure she wants to be a hands-on mother. So, especially, since her husband, his father was in politics, and of course he did some time in jail, we know that, and his mother ran for the same seat and served 1 term in the Senate before she was defeated, but they know what it's like, and I'm sure they want to be good parents to their children. And be there for them, okay? But I think it should be turned over to someone who could run it without having to worry about it. And then Hillary could do what she wants to do,
And they're also going to have to fire, what's her name?
Huma Abedin?
Yeah, she works for 3 or 4 of the she works for the State Department. She works for his foundation. She works for the initiative.
Well,
she works for all of them. If that's not a conflict of interest, I don't know what is.
Well, you see, but that depends whether she takes the job as an assistant or an aide to the president. If she does, then you're right. She would have to walk away from those other positions.
But when she was in State Department, she had all the positions.
I understand that. I'm not saying it was right. Not by a long shot. Okay?
And
in fact, Huma Abedin was mentioned as one of the people who, when it came to releasing certain emails or something, that she may have had a hand in it.
And also...
maybe Anthony Weiner released those emails when he was posting pictures of himself,
Yeah, my cousin?
Yeah.
Yeah. The, what's the name of that guy in there from WikiLeaks?
Who?
The guy from WikiLeaks.
Oh, Julian Assange?
No,
Snowden? Snowden?
Julian. No.
Julian Assange.
Yeah. He posted, he offered $20,000 reward for that Democrat who got killed. The guy got shot. They can't figure out who killed him or why.
I never. What's this about? I'm not.
There was one of the aides in the State Department got killed, and very suspiciously they said he was robbed, but he had money, he had his watch, he had everything on him. Nothing was taken. He was shot. He was shot in the head or something.
What did they take? Papers?
They didn't take anything. They think he may have been the one that leaked out the Democratic stuff.
Oh, okay. When they during okay.
He was killed. He was killed recently.
Gotcha. Yeah. I don't remember hearing that.
No, this just came out the other day that he was offered $20,000 reward for the capture of the murder, for any information on the murder of the guy. I forget his name.
Huh.
There's a lot into, boy, you can really start a lot of conspiracy with this stuff, theories.
Hey, we could start a lot of conspiracies.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, why would he offer $20,000 to find the murderer?
Well, I mean, it's certainly under suspicion. It's
strange.
It's very suspicious.
And he had some. He was interviewed recently a lot, and he was interviewed on Fox, of course, by that beautiful young blonde. What's her name? Kelly.
Megyn Kelly.